Mallory Park, it's the Bonanza.
Hi there and welcome to Mallory Park. I'm here for the Mallory Bonanza weekend 2024. I'm also here to do a bit of racing as well. So why don't you join me as we take a look at some of the bikes in the paddock and have a look at some of the other events going on here, like flat track, trials and the Plop Enduro. My name's Ant and you're watching Racing Retro. Now, I did plan to do a bit of a vlog style for the racing side of this video, but it turned out a bit rubbish. I either didn't have much to say, or I was too busy changing wheels and just completely forgot about it.
But anyway,
it was nice to race at a big event like this, and we picked up a 4th in class for race 1 and a 3rd in class for race 2, which was a lively affair as it rained in the assembly area and most of the field went out with dry tyres on. So fair play to all the motorsport vlogists out there, because I was shite. So with that, let's take a look at some of the bikes that were on display in the paddock. I'm going to start with some of my personal favourites. First up, this Aprilia RSV 250. So Vince Southall brought up 2 Aprilia RSV 250s. One of them actually is Jean-Philippe Rougia's 1994 GP bike, equipped with some really trick bits like these carbon brakes. Now this bike is for static display purposes only, however Vince does have another RSV that he uses to do demo laps on, and anyone familiar with the old MRO days, this used to be raced by Andy Whitley for the Faster by Fuller racing team. And here I filmed Vince with his lads starting the bike up, so let's take a listen. Keeping on the GP theme, next up we have Dean Simpkins' collection, which included a Curtis Roberts KR5, John Kaczynski's 594, and Eddie Lawson's Cagiva V592. The machine that famously picked up the only Premier Class victory for Cagiva during the Hungarian GP. Again, I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time to hear Dean start it up. Now I'm quite into my endurance racing, so these Phase 1 Yamahas stood out to me. I managed to catch up with their owner Des Lindsey to tell us a bit about his collection, which also included a YZR 500 replica.
I bought some bikes here today just for fun. Luckily the weather played ball for some of the day. This is YZR 500 replica. It's a TZR 3M8 frame with a heavily modified RD500 engine in it, built by Bob Farnham, running on McCunny flat slides, and obviously done it in the rainy sort of Lawson colours, because I thought it would just be a bit stand out, and brilliant fun today on that. And then these two are the X-Phase 1 World Endurance Championship bikes. That one's the 2008 bike, and then that one's the 2009 Big Bang bike. That one is the Isle of Man TT in 2008 with various riders, one being Michael Dunlop, and then this one went to Qatar with Glenn Richards and Dean Ellison, and they put it on pole and finished second, I believe, on that one. So, and these are quite trick. They're all the bits you like to see on them.
Yeah.
So,
How did you come about like owning something like this then? Like, was it just by chance?
Yeah, I know the chap, and he was selling that. I bought bizarrely I don't know if everyone saw it. There's a drag bike which had two TZ 750 engines in it, which was quite mad and a different story. And he had that one. So I bought the drag bike without the engines, but and then when I had that, I had to buy that, and then of course on the impulse buy I bought that one as well, just so we could have the two together. So I think the two with the fueling rig and everything else look really good. So as a pair of bikes, I just find them fantastic. Engineering, everything done how they were built. Phase 1 always put out a very nice bike. We used to like watching the endurance racing back in the day, the Boldor and stuff like that. So to be able to own a bike like this and just have it
Brilliant.
to admire is just brilliant. So
what are they like to ride then? Do you ride these, or are they just stuck at
this one I've done a lot on. These first time out on them tomorrow, so I haven't ridden either of them. So the TZRs and 500 stuff like that. Yeah, I know where I am with the two strokes and stuff like that. I used to run sidecars with F1 with an LCR with R1 engines in it. They're quick in the sidecar, so these are going to be extremely quick tomorrow, I'm sure. We'll find out.
So the theme of the weekend centred around the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Yamaha TZ750, and I managed to catch up with a couple of people who knew a thing or two about them.
The main reason for being here is the 50th anniversary of TZ750s, one of which this is the first track that I rode a TZ750 on with Arnie Fletcher and co from Len Manchester Motorcycles. Probably not the first track I rode it on, but certainly the first track where I ran a slick in the front and was suddenly competitive as a young man, long time ago. Match races are always the most important at the end of the day. When the Americans came across here, first time I'd ever seen Kenny Roberts was that year in the Transatlantic Trophy. Being a youngster back then as well, I was only really feeling my way on a brand new bike. TZ750s are animals, even though they don't chuck out much horsepower. They're not slack, as you'll see around Mallory Park today, because they never had tyres that worked. You couldn't. They didn't have variable gearboxes or anything. Well, they did, but you couldn't do it because there was a horizontal split, so you couldn't, not like a cassette where you could change your gearboxes. Power band was about 2,500 RPM, so it was all one big rush or not. Brakes were pretty much non-existent, so they were a useful tool. But you used to see the inside of a fence fairly regularly.
Well, it just it's back to Mallory Park, you know, something that brings fond memories to me. Raced here back in the 70s at the Transatlantic Match Series, and also raced the year in 1976. And so it's one of my favorite circuits here in England, and you have so many good circuits here, but it's really nice to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the TZ750, which brought me World Championship standings, and all the people that rode TZ750s throughout the years, and it's just a great event to show some Yamaha history here. So it's fantastic to be part of it. I'm really fortunate to be invited to come back to Mallory Park, and going to enjoy riding this afternoon. So. you know, TG750s, you know, really made me what I am. You know, they were a fantastic motorcycle. Initially, they were very difficult to ride, and Yamaha worked on the chassis and the suspension, brought out the monoshock for the 750, which changed the bike 100%, so it was rideable. And yeah, I mean, it was a handful, but you could go very fast with it.
Now, it wouldn't be a bike bonanza without some Plop Enduro, an event close to our hearts here at Race and Retro. So I had a chat with event organiser Lawrence Evans to explain all.
Well, we're very fortunate. We've been invited back to the Mallory Bonanza, a big event for us in the calendar, lots of footfall, good opportunity to introduce people to what we do and how we do it. It's just a fantastic event. It's a fantastic event. It's a privilege to be invited here. The Plop Enduro are usually 8-hour endurance races for four riders, 8 hours, at some of the best circuits in the country. Mallory Park being one of them, Anglesey, Pembury, Teesside, to name but a few.
But yeah, so if someone's watching this, how can they get involved with the Plop Enduro?
You can scour the AdMag, eBay, any source of second-hand. You'll probably come across a C90. And to get prepped for racing, set of tyres possibly, some routine maintenance, some lock wire on your sump bung and your filler, and you're off. And of course safety equipment, helmets, leather and boots. If you want to get involved, we've got a web page which is plopenduro.co.uk, and we also got a Facebook page which is Plop Enduro. There are 2 Plop Enduro sites. There's one for events and then for one Plop Enduro capital letters, which is for general chat. You'll find lots of information and there's plenty of people that'll help you get involved.
It wasn't all about tarmac races this weekend. The DTRA were here with flat track racing along with the Ode Codgers 2-day trial, with the latter raising money to help fund the launch of the Stoke Air Ambulance. To finish off, here is the best of the rest from the paddock. And that's it from the Bike Bonanza 2024. If you didn't make it to the event this time around, then be sure to pencil it into your diary next year. Thanks for watching, and if you've made it this far, you may as well like and subscribe, hadn't you? And check out some of our old videos.
In front of Marco Lucanelli, then a big gap to Stefan Mertens.
Here's the leader, Merkel. Merkel, oh, how well he might punch the air. That's a fantastic first leg victory, and he knows that's enough. He's got the first World Championship.